This is The Heat Source, the podcast where we learn everything we can about hot sauce, one bottle at a time. We are your hosts, Mike and Matt, and today we're trying Jalapeno Tequila and Lime from Queen Majesty and the Road Dawg from Sauce Leopard. Let's heat up! Welcome back to The Heat Source, where we learn about new sauces weekly, one bottle at a time. Today we're trying Queen Majesty and Sauce Leopard. So two brands, we've had their sauces, we've had multiple, I think, from each, but we haven't tried these ones in a while. I was looking back, and I could not find if we tried any new sauces from them this year.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because I still have the, what is it, the ginger...
Scotch bonnet ginger?
Scotch bonnet ginger, yep. Mm-hmm. I've been saving that one. But no, I was thinking of that the other day. We haven't done one in a very long time.
Yeah,
for either of them.
Both brands, I mean, we've liked their sauces. We've used them. The Ass Gasher from Sauce Leopard was a very popular one, both by name, and it was a great sauce for pizza.
Yeah. I had bird blood over Thanksgiving.
Bird blood over Thanksgiving, yep. And so one of the reasons I picked Queen Majesty, she came out with some new sauce flavors recently. Let me make sure I don't mess these up. She has a Merida Mesquite hot sauce. So it's a limited release that's going on right now. So I wanted to get an episode in to mention that. She has a limited bundle of that with a, was it Manzano Serrano sauce? So two sauces we have not tried, but just based on the last few that we've had, I know that those will be good. I think somebody got me a mini like shooter pack of the Queen Majesty, the 3. Mm-hmm. So I think I've had this line, but it was like such a small shooter, and I just threw it in to something. So I didn't get to really kind of taste it and study it as much. And then one of the other things over the holiday weekend, I have a box of hot ones. It's not this season's. I think it's 2 seasons ago that I got it. Whatever one was for sale around Christmas last year. And so I've just been cracking bottles of that open and just having those on the side because we have so many other sauces we want to try that the hot ones are getting enough publicity. Mm-hmm. We aren't as helpful to the brands as hot ones, I would say. Yeah. We don't have, when we do an episode, we don't go, hey, we're reviewing a sauce. Can you make 50,000 bottles?
Yeah, slightly behind.
Yeah, we're just a bit. But I had Marshall's hot sauce, a whiskey smoked ghost that was really, really good. And I'm now second guessing that we might, if we don't do an episode, I might have to at least do like a little video about the uses of it, because it's a very good like grilled meat and vegetable sauce. Very unique ingredients. But I'm not going to get into the basketball game this week, our normal NBA hot sauce comparative, because there was something else that I saw this week that I wanted to just do a quick discussion on. Nothing crazy. You're familiar with the YouTube show Good Mythical Morning, right? Mm-hmm. So big fan of Good Mythical Morning. Rhett and Link. My kids, we did a Good Mythical Morning themed birthday this last weekend, but just yesterday, Yellowbird posted in some of the forums that, hey, we were featured in a Good Mythical Morning episode, and they were doing not a blind taste test. They weren't blindfolded, but they were trying less expensive and more expensive items and seeing which one they liked more, and then seeing the cost difference. So Yellowbird was the less expensive. It's even though it's a good craft hot sauce, it is a grocery store level. I think the bottle they had, which was a very sizable, substantial one, it was like $13.99. How much do you think the other bottle of sauce cost that they found?
I'm aware of, I think it's a Swamp Dragon sauce.
Okay.
Limited release. It goes for like $500.
Okay.
And it was claimed as the most expensive hot sauce in the world at the time.
And they did not use Swamp Dragon. So that gives you a barometer.
So I'm going to go with $99.
So it's $200. It's $199. So there's a $40 bottle. This is from Olivium, the world's finest hot sauce. That's their tag, not my discernment. Discernment the right word there?
I don't know.
But they have a collector's box that they do limited runs.
Looks like cologne.
It has a little, what's the little liquor bottle?
Just like the little
pour.
Stopping. Oh, yeah.
So it's got a collector's box. It's $199. They only make so many. I think they make only a handful at a time, and then they limited run, then they're gone. So here's the thing. I really don't...
Stainless steel pourer.
Yeah, I really don't care much to try this sauce. Not because I think the sauce would be bad, even though when they tried the two sauces, they liked Yellowbird more. So shout out to Yellowbird for making good quality sauce. It was their classic habanero one.
Sealed in wax, signed and dated by the owner, and delivered fresh to the customer.
But when you make sauces and it's like, hey, we're going to, hype this up and then not let it be available. Like hot sauce is such a... You can make hot sauce at home. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the ingredients, I pulled up their ingredients on this sauce. There is nothing unique about that sauce. Like
red habanero pepper, apple cider vinegar, distilled vinegar, tomato, onion, bell pepper, garlic, onion, orange juice, salt, raw sugar, lime spice. We've had that a million times.
Yeah, like people have, like sauce makers have made that sauce and with the proportions made a really good sauce. And I'm not even saying that this is a bad sauce. It's just when I look at that ingredient list and then they go, okay, now show me the ingredient list of the $200 bottle, even the $40 bottle that they sell.
Yeah.
It's like, at least, and we're obviously not a big proponent of this brand. At least Truff puts truffle stuff in it.
Truffle stuff.
Like they put synthetic or they put whatever. Like at least they're like, well, we put a high-end ingredient that like leverages. And theirs is half the price of this. So I saw this and I'm like, shout out to Yellowbird. Like I might buy myself a bottle of Yellowbird just to give an extra kudos to that. Because that's a good replacement from some of the grocery store ones where it's like, oh, do you have, the Hui Fong Sriracha? I'm like, no, but I have blue agave Sriracha from Yellowbird. Like that's a good substitute.
I like the Yellowbird Ghost. That one's good.
Yeah, and Yellowbird's done. I think they did a collaboration with Taco Bell at one point.
Yeah.
So,
God, that's funny. I do want to try it. It does make me want to buy 2 bottles of Yellowbird that I normally wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like jump the gun on buying.
And even like they have a fancy picture of the ingredient list, and it was like. Yeah, it's a fancy picture of a lot of very simple...
Yeah, no, I could see $200 if you use, like, the world's rarest tomatoes to put in there.
Use really high-end vinegar, you use, high-end tomatoes, even, like, certain spices that are, saffron is a spice that we know is very expensive per ounce. But, like, there's nothing in this. Where I'm looking at the plate of ingredients, and I'm like, well, I could get that at the store. At my little, like... Mexican market over here,
right?
And I'm out maybe $7 because I already got the vinegars, so I don't have to buy a whole bottle. But
I'm curious. What if it actually is just killer?
Good for them if it's a killer sauce and they're just leveraging the hype as best they can. Well, you know what?
Clearly, you're paying for aesthetics. That's something. It looks like a Giorgio Armani cologne bottle.
Sure. Yeah.
That's something where Courtney's like, "This is beautiful."
Yeah, even the $40 one. Like, look, the $40 one looks like it has like a wooden topper.
Yeah.
So like clearly they have an aesthetic that they're going for, and good for them on that. And if they can get people to spend $40 or $200 on their stuff, hey, that's capitalism. Okay, what it is. But I'd rather take that $40 and buy 3 killer sauces somewhere else.
So what did they say in Good Mythical?
They thought that the more expensive one was very vinegar forward, much more vinegary than the Yellowbird one. The Yellowbird one, they're like, ooh, it's got heat, it's got smoke. Like, they liked it.
Yeah.
They thought it was a little hot for them because they're not, chili heads. Even though they eat a lot of spicy things.
Right.
But the high-end expensive one, they were like, oh, very vinegary, like much more vinegar. And we're not against, I think we've said on the podcast multiple times, we're a pro vinegar-based hot sauce. It's not exclusively the only thing we like, but
that is funny.
I saw that and I was like... Okay, and I just saw it yesterday, so I'm still kind of... I made a comment on the post where I was just like, shout out to Yellowbird, great stuff. You lost me at price, and you lost me at exclusivity.
Yeah, well, they're going off from, like, the Truff model.
Yeah,
make it look really nice and make it acceptable.
Truff does limited release bottles, and again, people buy them. There's
sell
collectors.
Out, though.
The thing is, at least with Truff, it changes. The collector boxes change. Where someone has 7 collector boxes of Truff, there's a Mario one, a Darth Vader one, all these different things. This is the same collector's box. They just release limited, like, hey, there's 10 more. Hey, there's 10 more.
Yeah.
So.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's just the FOMO model.
So shout out to Olivium.
They probably sell out in minutes.
Beautiful pictures and artwork. They're clearly going for it. They want that bottle sitting at the finest restaurant.
Yeah, flavor.
But people that typically people that are at the finest restaurants don't want spice because they're cowards. Hot takes all morning. I was amped up about this, so I was just like, I need to talk about it. So I reserved the time that normally is the NBA or hot sauce maker for this discussion.
That's
of
funny.
Olivium versus Yellowbird. But shout out to Yellowbird. We've never officially tried sauces on here, but we're a fan of them. We've had them in the past, and maybe we'll have to do just like the grocery store run of like, here's the lineup.
Yeah.
And then, not necessarily rank them, but just talk about them a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, so that was my little side tangent on that. The expensive hot sauce. And Flavor Balance Heat does a question to all of their guests that's like, if I want to make the world's most expensive hot sauce, like what's something, an ingredient, a style of production, packaging, like what is something to increase that price? And I've got one for one day when we go on that podcast. I've got one ready. I'm not going to share it on air because I don't want someone to steal it.
Yeah.
But I've got one that is good. So that was my quick take on, the Good Mythical Morning. They're doing the review. Also, we're doing the first of many Christmas parties this weekend. I'm making, I don't know if I sent you the video of this. It's a jalapeno popper in a blanket. So
I think I saw those. Do you put the little weenie in the jalapeno?
Yeah, so carved out jalapeno,
Yep.
cream cheese, bacon, shredded cheese in the jalapeno, smoky in that.
Yeah,
And
I
then you
did see
wrap the
those.
whole thing in a crescent roll, and you're supposed to smoke it. I don't have a smoker, so I'm going to be baking it. But I posted in the family group thing. I'm like, I'm making this. My cousin was like, yes. And my other cousin was like, absolutely. And my aunt was like, if it's going to be spicy, you save me the calories. And I'm just like,
it's going to be spicy.
I'm like, I want to make it more spicy. Like, I will make two versions. I'm going to make a traditional jalapeno popper, not devoid of heat, but just traditional. And then I'm going to make a amplified.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to probably use some good spice packs that people have sent us where I might put one of those in there and be like, here's the challenge one with a dipping sauce, like ghost pepper something dipping sauce, and really turn it on its ear. But that looked really good. I'm like, it's a pigs in a blanket and a jalapeno popper. I'm like, if it could just have one more thing, it could be a full turducken. But all right, let's get into Queen Majesty. Queen Majesty Jalapeno Tequila and Lime. Again, QueenMajestyHotSauce.com, Queen Majesty Hot Sauce on Instagram. So this looks like a very traditional green verde sauce from the look. It's got like a very little pale green.
It's creamy looking.
Little creamy looking. Ingredient list on here. Well, let's first do the little description here. Great with avocados, eggs, tacos, potatoes, fresh salads, and everything else. Enjoy in good health. Medium level heat. That says Queen Majesty Jalapeno Tequila and Lime Hot Sauce is handmade in New York City using fresh and carefully selected ingredients. This original recipe adds a refreshing flavor and a satisfying heat to all your favorite foods. So yeah, this one, white vinegar, jalapeno peppers, lime juice, sweet onions, garlic, cloves. That's interesting. Green apple, ginger root, white tequila, extra virgin olive oil, salt, and spices. Full disclosure, I do not like tequila.
No?
But I don't mind it in things, so I'm not saying that's going to be a problem here, but I'm not
like tequila.
I'm not a tequila fan.
I'm not by no means a drinker. I mean, Courtney and I have a liquor cabinet that we've had for 10 years, and we will die with that liquor cabinet a little bit lighter than what it is now.
Okay.
But I don't mind tequila drinks.
Like the new house came with a liquor cabinet, or you have one that's a traveling liquor cabinet?
It's traveling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should turn that little wooden chest down there into a liquor cabinet.
That'd be
Actually,
cool.
I want to turn that into a hot sauce cabinet.
Yeah.
That's what I want to turn
fun.
it into. We just open it up and it's like it's like the guy that goes town to town in the old movies that's selling like oils and
Medicines, yeah.
It's just like, oh, I've got something for you. You ever heard of a ghost pepper?
Got like the pull-out trays on it.
Yeah,
That's funny.
That's what I want to turn that into. It's an old like wooden like tool chest.
Yeah.
It's got like the trays and everything.
Right. That's awesome.
All right, let's open this thing. Not terrible.
No, it's funny. Like her friends bought us a bunch of liquors. Most of them are kind of like what we already talked about, like pretty bottles. Definitely like fancier bottles. But we will have those things for forever. I can think of like twice in the last 10 years where we've said like, hey, let's make cocktails right now.
Yeah. I've really slowed down in my drinking unless someone's like, hey, we're going out to XYZ. I'm not like I've had a few. I've had a few times where I'm just like, I need to pour myself a drink, but it's like a couple fingers of whiskey, scotch.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then I'm good for the day.
Yeah. We usually do just like a bottle of wine.
All right, let's give this one a try. Is this the first sauce that we've had that has alcohol in it on the podcast?
It might be. Like, is this burned off, or is this like...
I'm assuming it's
if
burned
I get
off.
pulled over, I'm going to blow. It's really good, though. It definitely has... I get the tequila. I get like that agave taste to it. I really like that.
Got the citrus. You got the garlic.
That's good. Definitely an acidic sauce.
Sweetness of the apple.
Man, that's very good.
Wow. I could see that. I could see that very easily as a salad dressing.
I'm going straight tortilla chip.
Tortilla chip, obviously. Throw on a little
Green apple.
little egg breakfast taco or sandwich with some slices of avocado on there.
Yeah.
Drizzle this over top.
I do get the green apple. Got that tang to it.
Yeah, it has a bit of tang, has some citrus. I just really like the flavor. I mean, green sauces are an easy one for me.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I don't have a blank sheet. I got to print some more
right.
out. We got too many scorecards. What was your fact for this one?
I went with Sammy Hagar.
Obviously.
It's not that far of a stretch. So I went, I was just listening to the song the other day. I haven't heard it in a long time, the Sammy Hagar Mas Tequila song.
Oh, okay.
So I was listening to that, and I thought, oh, I'll check in on old Sammy, see what he's up to. So I looked up, I just Googled Sammy Hagar Tequila. Mm-hmm. And on November 17th, he and Guy Fieri own a tequila company, a distillery. I think it was Cabo Wabo or something like that. And on November 17th, there was a heist. They had their tequila trucks, 2 semis, cross the border from Mexico into, trying to remember the name, into Texas. There's a town in Texas, can't remember. But anyways, crossed the border, and the semis were hijacked. And whoever hijacked them got away with 2 semis full of tequila. Each bottle in the semi was aged for 39 months. And they made it back to Mexico. Like, I love a good modern day heist. I don't agree with it. I think some heavy punishment should come that way. But the fact that you can pull off in modern times, hijacking 2 semis, getting away with it, and they don't know where it is.
It is more impressive. Yeah, I will say.
It's very impressive that, like, they can't even locate it right now.
Well, because, the old train heists, the Wild West, like, those things, those happen, and then it's like, well, yeah, no one knew what to do because trains got to keep going on the tracks. They can't call anybody. But then, yeah, this is...
With modern communication and drones, aerial, all that stuff. Gutsy move. Real gutsy move. And I'm just picturing, like, that scene in the Fast and the Furious, the desert scene when they're hijacking the tech trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just picture. I like to think that's how it went down. It's probably a lot less cool than that, but no, that just happened, 2 weeks ago now?
Oh, really?
Yeah, November 17th.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll make it. We'll see.
So Sammy was doing good up until a couple weeks ago. But I was thinking, I'm like, that's kind of a strange partnership. I wouldn't have guessed Sammy and Guy. And then I'm like, wait, it's the hair. Definitely the hair.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Interesting. That's a good one. I agree. It does make sense more now that you broke it down a little bit.
But yeah, each one was 2 semi trucks full, but 39 month age. So about almost 4 years of hard work just gone overnight.
I mean, it is disappointing.
That was their holiday stock too.
Like, that is rough, but those guys that stole it are having a great time.
Yeah.
Maybe they stole it for their families.
God, they're
families
just
got a drink.
Roll up on that semi, just blaring Mas Tequila by Sammy Hagar, guns out.
I mean, yes, food is important during the holidays, but you know what else is important to survive the holidays? Alcohol.
Yeah.
That's what's needed. I went with limes. Very simple, very
Yep.
straightforward. It was literally right on the bottle. Did you know that the citrus from limes was initially a close guarded military secret?
I did not.
So limes were actually used for scurvy, and so the military scurvy was a common scourge of various national navies, and so the ability to remain at sea for lengthy periods of time without contracting the disorder was a huge benefit for the military. So a lot of people would be given limes and citrus like that to help fight the scurvy, and so they didn't want other naval militaries to know about that.
What era is this?
We're talking about the earliest possible. Let me see if I can find.
And how did they apply? Did they eat it? Did they rub it on?
I think they ate it. So, lessons from the British Navy. Cure for scurvy took 200 years to be implemented. Mid 1700s, the citrus reduced the risk of scurvy.
What a crazy time though. Like one of your military advantages is just not letting someone know
about limes,
but just in general, like how to cure an ailment.
Right.
You know, like we're going to win this war by just letting them get sick and we'll stay mildly healthy.
Yeah. I mean, there's one thing where it's like
funny. Like what a hard time to be alive.
There's one thing where it's like, hey, we have, this advance in military weaponry where it's like, we're not going to share these with other people because it's an advantage that we have. But then when it's like, we're not going to tell them about basic dietary things that help fight diseases.
Right.
Yeah.
They dump a bin of them on the table. They're like, boys, we're going to win this war. And they're like, God, are those hand grenades? They're like, nope, we eat them.
Everybody grab one, bite the top off, and then squeeze. Everybody's having a lot of extra lime on their fajitas. But no, that was...
That's funny. It's also sad, too.
I mean, yeah, it's not great. But...
Yeah, most of the wars back in the day were just trying to survive in general. Mm-hmm. Where I feel like at some point they're just like, will someone just run over here and just pop me one, please? I'm tired of my feet falling off.
Yeah, I mean... But oh man, that was a really dark joke I was going to make. Never mind. It's too early for that. But going back to this sauce, Queen Majesty hotsauce.com. I obviously tortilla chip sauce, nachos, tacos, breakfast burritos, anything with avocado I think would be really good. A little avocado toast if you want to be fancy. Which I say fancy, it's not really that hard to make. You just got to find a ripe avocado.
Yeah.
I almost bought an avocado just driving on the road. Just thought, I'll just grab an avocado, but I didn't have a knife. And I didn't know how to... Without a knife, you really...
Yeah.
Rip it apart like...
You could tooth it and peel it, but that'd be messy.
Could rip it apart like in Lion King when they break open the...
Oh, yeah.
Was it the mango or whatever it is? The papaya. But this would be... Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This would be a good sauce. Honestly, I would... Yeah, I mean, I would replace a salad dressing with this. There's a few different sauces I've had where I'm like, this is just my salad dressing instead. Because the biggest thing, when anybody says like, oh, I'm eating healthier, I'm eating salads, but then you ask them like what they put on it, and you find out they put just like mayonnaise-based dressing all over it, and it's like, you might as well have macaroni salad at that point. Like you're not doing much better. Mm-hmm. So sauces like this are just really good options for a salad dressing on there. So.
Like those, I don't know, they're like Dole brand, just like the salad kits. They always have like the Southwest salad.
I do the TaylorMade or the
Taylor? Taylor Farms.
Dole usually looks like garbage compared to
that's what I was thinking of. But they have like a Southwest salad that's got like I think an avocado dressing with it. This would be good with that though.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah, that would be really good.
And that is a compliment. That is a huge compliment because those salads are good. I felt a little guilty being like, this would go good in a pre-made bagged salad.
So that goes under the same category as when I made chili that one time and you're like, hey, this is like a really good Hormel chili. And I'm like, cool. And you're like, no, I like it. Like it's really...
It's a massive compliment.
And I'm just like, feels like a dig. Feels like if you tell it in a different tone to someone else, they'd be like, yeah, I know, right? But I'm supposed to say thank you. But
it was really good. I actually wanted the recipe, and the more I asked for it, the more I felt you thought it was sarcastic.
Be like, you're going back to somebody and being like, he gave me the recipe. I can just buy a can. It's
He
fine.
took a hook, line, and sinker. He thought I liked it.
We didn't really talk about the heat on this one. The heat, it's not so much that there's a strong heat to it. It has a bite to it.
Yeah, it's got a good tang, good acidic tang to it.
Yeah, so it's the acidic tang is there, but like the heat is, to me, it's really like one. Like you can tell that there's heat, but it's not. There's no lingering. There's no reaction. Like you could.
I had one.
This is one of those bottles you see somebody just like drinking.
Yep.
The whole thing down. For my score, I had an 85.
86.
It's weird how close we get on these.
Yeah, I don't look at your sheet ever.
Right now we're just like chicken scratching.
We just jot it down.
Yeah, and right now we're just chicken scratching on just a random piece of paper because I haven't printed off score sheets in a while. Yeah, no, that's a really good sauce. Again, Queen Majesty. Queen Majesty is the sauce where she did I think it's Erica. Is it Erica is the sauce maker? If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm tired of squinting at the screen. But she did a video with Sean Evans where they made a grilled pineapple jalapeno sauce, and Em and I recreated that. There was some of the recipe I don't feel like we got exactly right, but but she was excited to try that out. So that's a brand I'm fond of. I know Lauren from Hot Graham, I think he was the one that maybe even sent this bottle at one point because he loves Queen Majesty. She's been a big help to him, both as a kind of I don't know, someone that he looked up to in the sauce industry, but also he's had conversations with her, I think, when he went to the New York show, and just a big fan. So yeah, this is a great sauce. Let's get into Sauce Leopard's Road Dog. Now, this one's a Fresno garlic hot sauce. It says Fresno peppers, water, distilled vinegar, habanero pepper, red bell peppers, garlic, red onion, lime juice, olive oil, sugar, salt, brown sugar, and spices. Description on here, sure, the road goes on forever, but how you fare out there all depends on the company aboard. From midnight breakdowns to early morning peel-outs, the Road Dog is there to ensure the good times keep rolling. This Fresno garlic sauce is a must-have for the hungry rambler, crafted for enjoyment wherever you decide to call home for the night. So it's really pitched as an everyday, whatever you need to take on sauce. Again, the Sauce Leopard is a brand out of Denver, Colorado. SauceLeopard.com on website and all platforms, but we've had a few of their still Queen Majesty. We've had a few of their sauces, but this one is listed as, they don't have the heat scale on here, but they've got the heat scale 6 out of 10, so a little bit hotter than middle. Neither one of these are real burners, so this is kind of a real easy laid back episode for that. But let me try to crack this one open.
That was the best one in a long time.
It's been a while. I don't know why that song from Stained is in my head. Remember that song?
Oh, yeah. I love that song.
This has a really nice orange, bright color. Consistency, pretty similar consistency to the...
I don't know why it made me think of this. My little brother just went to the Creed 3 Doors Down concert.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I talked to him the next morning. I'm like, how was it? He's like, it was good. He's like, made me realize that I know like 2 Creed songs and absolutely nothing else. I'm like, yeah, most people do.
I was just going to say, what's the best Creed song? Because I think I know because I was just, when I was driving yesterday, I put on music and I was just playing random, like that era music. And it had like 3 Creed songs. And I'm just like, man.
That's all 3 of them.
Playlist really likes the Creed.
Yeah.
Because obviously, the one that people think of is Can You Take Me Higher?
Yeah, Higher.
And then Arms Wide Open.
Arms Wide Open, My Sacrifice.
And
then One Last Breath.
I like Higher. No, I like One Last Breath.
Yeah.
I think that's the best one.
I think that's the most popular one.
That's the best one because I feel like
they have 4 songs.
Yeah, they have 4 songs. They've been around for a few decades. They at least can have 4 songs.
He's like, outside of that, I do absolutely... He's like, I have never even... Those songs never even rung a bell to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge... I've listened to Creed. I'm not, a big fan. I've never thought to, go to a concert. But if someone was like, hey, I got an extra ticket, you want to go to this thing? I'd go.
Yeah.
But then I'd also be wondering what I'm going to do for those other...
Oh, man. Yeah.
Whatever songs.
90 minutes. It smells really good, though.
And this one smells great. We can give this one a try. can taste the Fresno. That was the first flavor I got.
Yeah. It's a lot hotter than I thought.
It's got a good kick to it. Definitely kind of lingering on the back of the tongue. I could see this going, like you said, on every kind of everything coverage.
Yeah.
To me, it's a burrito, whether it be breakfast or regular.
Burrito, for sure.
I'd mix that in with whatever condiment I'm putting on my sandwich.
Mm-hmm. It's very light right off the bat.
Spicy deli sandwich.
Yeah.
Be good.
I'd go definitely in the Mexican realm with this one.
I think Angela did either a potluck or something at work, but they were doing like build your own like sandwiches or whatever. She just came home with like ham, turkey, salami, 3 different types of sliced cheese. So I'm like, get a little bit of sliced tomato, red onion, throw that on there. That'd be good.
I definitely it's got a good sweetness to it. I think you called out brown sugar in there, right?
Yep. At the end, there was a brown
sugar. Salt, brown sugar. Yeah. Oh, it's got the heat scale on there.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. It's very small right on the side.
I have no glasses.
But no, I like that. It tails off with that sweetness. I like that.
Yeah, it does.
It's very cool right up front. Like it's a refreshing sauce, very light.
So you get the peppers, you get that sweetness. It's just I really enjoy that sauce. But it does have a bit of a kick up from the last one we had. So that was surprising there.
What direction did you go?
So I didn't go ingredient based. I went with the longest motorable road in the world.
The Pan America Road?
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, so did I.
What did you talk about in there?
I talked about what was surprising to me was the duration it takes to drive the road.
Okay. I didn't go there.
Okay.
Do you know that there is one portion of it that is unconnected?
I did not know that. Is it the Panama Canal?
The Darien Gap.
Is that the one in Costa Rica?
Let me see. It's a dense jungle swampland between Panama and Colombia.
Dang. So how do you get across it?
I don't think you can. It remains a formidable barrier in addition to the region. So in addition to like the jungle, the swamp, the region is home to some indigenous communities who have opposed the construction of a road through that land. So, and it's also not very well policed in that area. So don't do that part.
I did see a warning. It said like, if you plan to drive this, be prepared for like some hostility in some areas.
Yeah. So yeah, that was, which I guess that makes sense if you're going through multiple countries. I think it was at 14 countries.
Something like that, yeah.
But if you're going through that many countries and it's a highly trafficked, anyone in crime would be like, well, we know we're going to get a lot of tourists, a lot of green people that are unfamiliar with our customs and we can take advantage of. So there is that, I'm sure, too. But I remember seeing a video about this where they're like, yeah, this section, don't go through this section.
So how does that count, though, as...
I don't know.
It's got to be just like a 2-track through the jungle.
Probably.
Which is funny because I saw it advertised on Porsche's website. So it's like, can you imagine just like a Porsche Cayenne rolling through the...
Just jungle.
Yeah.
Indigenous communities just being like...
Or Cayman, whatever they're called.
Like, this is our Porsche now.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
It pulls out of the other side of the jungle. There's just like wooden arrows sticking out of the side of it.
It's a Porsche that then gets converted for jungle driving, so it's got these big old tires. Yeah. And it's got...
Lamborghini just came out with one. They came out with an off-road.
Did they?
Yeah.
I
thought it was funny. They increased their suspension by 40 millimeters. That was like their big selling point. They took their Huracan, raised the suspension 40 millimeters. You're like, whoa, now you can go over a freaking pebble in the road.
Yeah, and they're still going to be driven on the most expensive roads in
you're still taking a $300,000 car. You're like, I'm not leaving the pavement with this thing.
Yeah, that's why I always laugh with some of like the really high-end SUVs and stuff where it's just like, look at all this cool things this commercial is doing, but like it's going to get bought by a very well-off...
Yeah. I always think it's funny when Land Rover's like, oh yeah, we got like the best off-road.
Like, we haven't tried it.
We've never tried it.
No one's ever tried it when they bought it.
Yeah,
but
I think it was on a podcast. I heard someone say, if you want to get into the Outback, take a Land Rover. If you want to get out of the Outback, take a Toyota.
Yeah. I mean, if you look in those areas, look at what the people of that area are driving.
Yeah. It looks cool in commercials when you're driving by Ayers Rock in a red desert in a Land Rover, but...
Buying a Land Rover is like me buying a vegan steak. I'm never going to use it.
That's funny. We both went to Pan America.
That's the first time I think we've gone same, especially off topic, like not ingredients.
Right.
But
what I was really surprised
almost
on
went hot dogs.
was
road dogs. I'm just like let's go talk gas station hot dogs.
Yeah, that'd have been a good one. So what is your best guess on the fastest time it's ever been driven and the average time it takes to drive?
So I know how many miles it is.
19,000.
Yep. Or 30,000 kilometers for our fans outside of the U.S. The two fans. Let me do some quick math here.
I tried to do math. It didn't help me.
I'm sure it won't, but it just at least makes me feel better about myself. I'm going to say it took... I'm going to say it took 2,000 hours.
2,000 hours. How many days is that?
Oh, are we going by days?
Well, hold on. 2,000.
I feel like I'm also... you'd have to be speeding through most of that. I don't think that's right.
Okay, so that's 83 days.
Okay. I don't think it's right at all. I think it's more.
I must just be wildly off. So, do you want the record?
Yeah.
Fastest time it was ever driven is 24 days.
24 days.
I would have said 2 weeks max.
24 days. So that's 791 miles a day. Depends on the speeds. I didn't know what speed to divide it by.
I feel like Central South America, you're probably hauling some ass.
There's no luck.
You're like, no one's. That's why Porsche was like.
I thought it would be slower just because like it might not be as established roads, but I guess if you're going for a record, the rules don't apply.
So I just thought that was I thought that was slow, but yeah, when you do the math, you're like 700 miles a day. That's a lot.
They have like a one-off, like kind of like the opposite of not the purge where you're killing people, like a purge in like laws where it's like, hey, there's no law on the Panama Highway anymore, like for this stretch of time, so you can drive as fast as you want.
That would be sweet.
But there are also if you get in a crash, like no one's going to be
sign a waiver,
liable.
like yeah. But the average time, guess what the average time someone drives this in is?
30 days.
Average time is 6 to 12 months.
Okay.
I don't know why that just seemed so high to me.
But if you go, 19,000 miles, and let's say in 6 months, so let's say...
But that's like one go at it. That's not you...
Oh, that's one go?
Yeah. That's what they said.
Because like 6 months would be like 105 miles a day. 19,000 over 180 days.
Yeah.
For 6 months.
But also you need to think about, too, a lot of that highway, like when you're driving from... Like when you get to Alaska, you've got to drive the haul road.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that is like dirt slow. Even in a pickup truck, you hit a pothole, they're like, you should bring 4 spare tires with you because it's not maintained. I got to believe Central South America, a lot of those not maintained. We already know there's a jungle stretch. That's
the 6 to 12 months. A lot of it is just they are waiting for the kidnap negotiator to get them back.
You're just waiting for the U.S. Embassy.
Yeah. But like, I'm pretty sure we got rights.
That's funny. But no, crazy. I had no idea. And that I'm sure I've actually driven, now that I think about it. You drive out west, you probably hit, some portion of that road. But
yeah, I want to do the Route 66. I want to do that drive across. Not all of that is still intact, but at least as much as what you can.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would like to do. But yeah, Pan American Highway. We're going to do a driving tour. Our podcast will be along the Pan American Highway. It'll be a live stream until we lose signal.
There's got to be a good YouTube channel on someone who did that and vlogged every day on it.
I mean, there's I'm sure there's videos for everything, especially even when it's like dangerous areas like the Darien Gap. Because there's that one guy. Did you ever see that one guy that was like, his mission was to bring, was it Christianity or some type of religion to those indigenous people that is the most isolated tribe in the world?
Sentinel Island.
Yeah, and he just
they
weren't
killed. Having it. Yeah,
he was just murdered, and they're just like, what a tragedy. I'm like, well, seems pretty obvious this was not a wise one.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's somebody that's like, I'm going to go through the Darien Gap on foot, and it's like, have fun, bud.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, especially when you're talking jungle, you don't even know jungle and swamp. I can only imagine how many different types of animals they'd be dealing with down there. But yeah, the road dog. I should have done gas station hot dogs. Classic road dog. Also, I
didn't
like
even
this
think
one.
about that.
This one I like because I see like the van on the front of it. And talking about road trip, I immediately think of just everyone's drive to Albuquerque because so many sauce makers are just doing road trip, convoys to that show every year. I've mentioned it a few times where I'm like, yeah, if like Roddy is driving across, I'm like, maybe I could just drive down to Indiana, get picked up along the way, or just talk to Miletta's and be like, hey, just let me drive with.
Yeah.
Like extra set of eyes on the road.
Right.
But the road trip does sound fun. The thing that I've heard from most people is that going there is a great experience, or doing the drive is a great experience, but doing it both ways over the course of a week is a bit much. So I know, like Roddy has said before, that when they drive back, like they have specific stops and they make an experience of it. And he's gone to, what was the desert that he went to? I don't know. Like they've made stops where he's taking pictures and all that there, and it's really, really impressive. So
it'd be fun. I'd like to try it.
So what was your score?
It's 72.
I had an 80. This one was really good. Honestly, anything above 50, again, is recommend to buy. This is a great sauce. It's an everyday. It is a Fresno sauce. It is very forward with the Fresno pepper. It has good sweetness on the back end. It's going to go on a lot of stuff. Like, that's one thing where sometimes we try sauces where I'm like, oh, this is going to be very specifically. I have to make something very specific for this. This one, it's going to be surprising the things that it won't go on, not the things that it will go on, because there's a lot. So, again, that's Sauce Leopard, sauceleopard.com, Sauce Leopard on Instagram and the other socials. But yeah, so two more great sauces from two great brands. So, special thank you as always to Summit 6 Design for any graphic or logo design needs. They designed our logo. Also, a special thank you to Lauren, because I'm pretty sure this bottle of Queen Majesty was sent from him, and obviously we've mentioned before, he sends a lot of sauce to us just of recommending other brands. We have some that we're excited to crack into that he's mentioned and talked about before. And special thank you to everyone listening. However you listen, we do appreciate you. Follow us on Instagram at The Heat Source Podcast for all updates. Send us a message on there or email us at theheatsourcepod@gmail.com for any feedback, requests, or any other comments. And tune in next week where hopefully we try 2 more brands as I'm trying to stock back up my fridge for the holidays.
Yep.
So we'll see.
See ya.
You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for Deadpool 2. Well, we don't have that kind of money. We expecting Sam Jackson show up with an eye patch and a saucy little leather number? Go.